Today on Judge Faith, this expectant mother wasn't expecting a dog attack.
I've had miscarriages before, so I was so stressed out.
I'm especially sympathetic, and you should be too, to a 20-year-old who's pregnant who gets bit in the face by your dog.
But Judge Faith won't tolerate any more lies from this dog owner.
Because you spent the last 10 minutes telling me they wouldn't give the dog... No, don't say no to me, because now I'm looking at the police report and it says something different.
And later, two grown men have a texting battle over a bad auto part.
So what happened when he came back to you and said,
well, after
"I'd
like
my money
60
back"?
text messages on Father's Day, I felt like, I gotta give him a bone. I gotta throw him a bone, something. I gotta make him feel better. Get him off my back so I can enjoy my holiday. And he was texting me like a 13-year-old teenage girl.
Did you text him 60 times?
72.
72.
Plaintiff Bricoise Foster says she was attacked by a pit bull as she was returning from a pregnancy clinic. She's suing for $3,000 for eye, tooth, nose, and lip injuries. Defendant Juan Garcia claims his puppy was just playing, but animal control put it down. He's countersuing for $3,000 for the loss of a family pet.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Foster versus Garcia.
Thank you, Barbara. Bricoise Foster?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Juan Garcia?
Yes.
For $3,000 for injuries you say you sustained due to his pit bull attacking you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $3,000 for the
Correct.
loss of the pit bull?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll start with you, Ms. Foster. Tell me what's going on here.
Okay, I was coming from Gain, returning my proof of pregnancy. I was 3 months pregnant at the time. So I turn around, I see them struggling with the dog. I moved to the side to let them pass. They stopped. He told me that the dog was friendly. I stuck my hand out, and right as he was saying the dog was friendly, he doesn't bite, he jumped up and bit me in the face.
Wow. So you were walking down the street with your son that day?
Correct.
How old is your son?
12.
Okay. What kind of dog is this?
It's a pit bull.
How long have you had him?
Since he was a puppy.
And so he's on a leash, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what happens.
What happened was we were walking behind this young lady. I asked her if she could move, and she said, "Oh, what a cute puppy," and proceeded to walk to us. She started petting the dog. I think what happened was my dog Max wanted to continue to play with her. He jumped up and scratched her with his claw on her eye. And as soon as that happened, what I did was I took off my shirt. I applied pressure to the wound.
Oh, so she was bleeding actively at the time?
Yeah, right away.
Was it a lot of blood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I noticed that a police officer was driving by, so I flagged him down.
Let me see a photo of the dog you submitted to court. Is that your son?
Yep.
And the dog, what's the dog's name?
Max?
Max. How bad, you said you were pregnant at the time?
Yes, I was 3 months pregnant.
3 months pregnant, how badly were you injured?
I had a deep gash in my nose and under my eye. I had a slight chipped tooth. My lip was swollen. I had scratches under my eye from his teeth. So he bit all of this. This was gashed in. This was ripped wide open.
Do you have photos of your injuries?
Yes, I
Can I
do.
see them? And you did have the baby? You
Yes,
did have your
she's
daughter?
3 weeks old in 1 day.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. She's healthy?
Yes.
Wow. This is... We're going to put these up on the flat screen. They are pretty graphic. Next photo. Wow. So what treatment did you get for your eye?
I had to get 4 stitches in my nose and 3 under my eye. And I didn't have the money at the time to go get it repaired, and due to my insurance, they denied me more coverage to get it fixed. And since it was already sewn up, they told me just to go home and see a specialist, but I didn't have the money for the specialist. So.
What happened to Max?
The officer wanted me to surrender Max, so I did so. And a couple weeks later, they had already put Max down.
Okay, so you were trying to get the dog out?
Correct, ma'am.
At that time? And why do you think she owes you $3,000?
Because I figure this whole situation would have never happened if she would have just moved over and let us pass her by. The point
So you
is,
feel she's responsible for your dog biting her in the face?
in a way, yes.
While she was walking down the sidewalk and stopped to perhaps pet him?
Correct.
That she should pay $3,000 for your dog after he bit her in the face?
Well, I lost I paid $500 for Max. And then
You're
like
suing her for $3,000.
Yeah, and then he's like pretty much my family member. Like,
And you think this is her
that's
fault?
emotional, huh?
I mean, you didn't come into court today and say she antagonized
but
him. What did she do wrong? What did she do wrong?
What did she do wrong? She didn't do nothing wrong.
Okay.
Neither did Max.
Okay.
Neither did Max.
Okay.
Max was just trying to play.
Coming up on Judge Faith, what's the story with this dog owner?
You were scared to take him home that day yourself, and you could have.
Well, that's what the officer said. I really don't recall saying that, man, Your Honor.
The officer's lying or mistaken.
And later, how much texting equals harassment?
72 times you texted him. How do you know? Did you count your text messages?
Pardon?
You counted your text messages?
Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, I'm not asking you to count.
Well, yeah.
It's okay, sir.
Plaintiff Rakois Foster is suing the defendant for injuries she sustained when his pit bull scratched and bit her. Defendant Juan Garcia is countersuing because his dog was euthanized.
You brought a witness with you today?
Yeah, my son.
Who did you bring? Oh, you
My
brought
son?
your son.
Yeah.
Okay, bring him into court.
Just step aside behind your dad.
Are you Zane Garcia?
Yes.
How old are you?
12.
12 years old? Okay, what grade are you in school?
7th.
7th grade? You had a dog named Max?
Yeah.
A pit bull?
Yes.
How long did you have Max?
For 3 years.
3 years? Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you just start from the beginning and tell me what happened when you were walking Max?
She was walking the same direction, and my dad asked her if she could move out the way.
And then she did what?
And then she started petting him, and when she got off, Max wanted more attention, so he jumped up and on accident scratched her eye.
You saw a lot of blood?
Well, I saw like a little bit of blood putting down.
Now, before coming into court today, did you and your dad discuss your testimony?
Yeah.
What did you discuss?
Like what to say, like,
What to say?
yeah, like,
Did you tell him what you were going to say?
yeah, like the truth.
The truth? Because you know how important it is to tell the truth?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead and walk behind your dad. Thanks. And out this door, please.
Do you have any reports from animal control? Did you contact animal control to see if the dog had his rabies shots? Has the dog had shots?
Yes, ma'am, he
No,
did.
he did not have
Oh,
shots.
you contacted animal control?
Yes, I have all the papers.
Oh,
They
let
said
me
he
see
did
that.
not have any type of shots.
Okay, so the police say here, sir, that you were not able to provide proof of a licensed rabies vaccination because you didn't have any money. Do you remember telling them that?
Yeah, no, I do remember telling him that.
Okay, so the dog didn't have his rabies shots.
What do you mean?
Sir, did you tell them that the dog didn't have his rabies shots because you didn't have the money?
No, what I said was I had to surrender Max because they wanted me to pay a certain amount.
That's not what the officer said here. In his report, this is the officer's report, he wrote that you were scared to take Max home because you were not sure he would jump and bite a family member. Do you remember telling that to the police?
After the fact that that this
Really?
situation happened.
Because you spent the last 10 minutes telling me that you wanted your dog and that you
Yeah,
kept
but
calling animal control and they wouldn't give the dog,
No.
and that you found out that the
No,
dog had been put down.
The thing was,
No, don't say no to me because now I'm looking at the police report and it says something different. Did you not think, I guess you didn't know she had this evidence with her today.
no,
It says in the report that you were scared to take Max home because you were not sure he would jump and bite a family member.
okay, I guess I said that then. But I'm really
And
here.
you want her to pay because Max had to be put down?
Correct,
You want her to pay for that.
correct.
And you were scared to take him home that day yourself, and you could have.
Well, that's what the officer says. I really don't recall saying that, ma'am, Your Honor.
So the officer's
But-
wrong.
Well,
The
no,
officer's
I'm not
lying
saying
or
that.
mistaken?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm saying I don't recall saying that.
But he did tell me that he bit me, his dog bit me in the face, and that it wasn't that bad.
Actually, I said I think he might have bit you.
And I still need
Okay,
eye
so
surgery.
so that day you told her you think the dog bit her.
Yeah, I said,
and
"Oh, I think my
today,
dog bit you."
You come into court and you say the
Yeah,
dog
'cause
jumped up. Stop talking. Because your story is obviously changing, sir, because you think you're going to come in here and make a better case for yourself.
No, I'm not.
And every time I ask you, and every time you get caught, you change it up a little bit. I think I may have said this, or I don't remember saying that.
All right.
How about just doing what your 12-year-old son did and tell the truth?
That's what I'm doing.
You live in one of the states that has one of the strictest laws on dog bites, when dogs bite another person. The fact that it actually happened, that fact alone makes you responsible. What bothers me is how you're handling this now.
Okay.
That's what bothers me about it. I'm especially sympathetic, and you should be too, to a 20-year-old who's pregnant, who gets bit in the face by your dog. You didn't even want to take the dog home. You told the officer, I don't want to take the dog home because I'm afraid he might bite one of my family members.
Like I said, I don't recall
But then you
saying
want to
that.
come into court and tell me, oh, I was trying to get my dog, he was put down, and people are feeling sorry for you, and the whole story was just a bunch of baloney. Your counterclaim for $3,000 is dismissed, but I'm ordering you to pay the full judgment to the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. Good luck.
Plaintiff Stan Esparza claims he was sold a faulty injector pump. He's suing for $1,437 for the part and expenses. Defendant Todd Brames claims the part was sold as is and says he was bombarded by text messages from the disgruntled plaintiff. He is joined in court by his wife, Anza Brames.
Your Honor, this case is Esperanza versus Brames.
Thank you, Barbara. Stan Esparza?
Yes, ma'am.
You were suing the defendant, Todd Brames?
Correct.
For $1,437. $700 for a diesel injector pump you say he sold you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you want to be refunded that money? In addition, you're suing for towing and travel and $300 in labor. Okay,
ma'am.
tell me what's going on here, sir.
I originally contacted him on Craigslist to purchase an injector pump for a '98 Dodge Diesel.
What is an injector pump? What does it do?
It's similar to a carburetor on a regular car. It distributes the fuel into the engine.
Do either of you have a copy of the ad?
No, I do not.
No.
Okay.
It said that it was less than a year old, that it was a good pump.
Okay, and what do you say the ad said? That's pretty important, by the way.
Well, the ad said essentially, it was a rebuild part that I bought used. That's why I sold it for $700.
And what do these fuel injector pumps normally go for?
Anywhere from $1,200 all the way up to $2,000, depending on where you buy it.
Okay, so $700 was a deal. You contact him, it's $700,
Yes, ma'am.
and do you at some point drive to go take a look
I
at
drive down to Sugar Land to Houston, 200-something miles from home.
Okay, that's a long
All right,
drive.
I come down there with cash to pick up the pump. Everything is going fine. The pump looks nice and clean.
Well, did you test it beforehand?
You can't test an injector pump.
Sir, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I'm retired.
Retired?
I'm on disability.
In what profession?
Mechanic and truck driver.
Okay, so you were a mechanic.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're buying an injector pump from Craigslist from someone
ma'am.
you don't know.
Right.
Why would you buy a product and pay $700 for a product that you can't test? I'm just wondering, as a former mechanic, why you would do that.
Well, because of the price, it implies there would be a good pump for $700.
Where'd you get this pump from?
I bought it 100 miles past San Antonio, which is about 450 miles.
So you just went on Craigslist and you decided, I
Yeah.
don't need this pump,
Yeah.
right? And so you were going to sell it on
I
Craigslist.
actually found it on Craigslist, yes. I sold it
You
to
have a-
him because I no longer needed it.
Do you have a photo of the pump, sir?
I do.
May I see it, please? I'm just curious. I want to know what this looks like. Okay, let's look at this in the flat screen. Is this the pump you purchased, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
It
So-
looks new.
I'm sorry?
It looks new. That's why
It
I
looks
bought
new,
it.
it's clean.
What do? You try to install it in a truck?
I put it in my truck.
And what happens?
It wouldn't bleed. The fuel has to go all the way through the pump to each cylinder before
So
it'll
it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
And why do you think he owes you a refund for the pump?
I bought it on good faith. It was a good pump for $700. I gave him $700 of my hard-earned
So
money.
you went back to him and you asked him for your money back?
Yes, ma'am.
And he said no initially?
He said no, as is.
So what happened when he came back to you and said,
Well, after
"I'd
like
my money
60 text messages on Father's Day, get him off my back so I can enjoy my holiday. We were going to the beach, taking my boat, we're gonna have a great day. And he was texting me like a 13-year-old teenage girl.
Coming up, did the plaintiff text the defendant to insanity?
And I just felt like, he's not doing me any favors driving me crazy.
Plaintiff Stan Esparza is suing for a defective fuel pump and repair expenses. Defendant Todd Brames says he sold the used part as is.
I absolutely, positively decided at that point, he's insane. And I just felt like, you know, he's not doing me any favors, driving me crazy. I sold him as is, no warranty, nothing implied, nothing guaranteed on Craigslist. It's like he's gonna go back to a garage sale and get his money back for some little buffet that just doesn't quite do the job. I just felt like, you know, please, you know, let's be gentlemen about this. But after 60 text messages,
Did you text him 60 times?
those are his text messages.
72.
72. Lord have mercy. I mean,
yeah.
come on.
I have a lot of time on my hands.
I understand you brought a witness with you today, sir?
Yes, I do.
Your wife? Would you step up, ma'am? What do you have to say about this?
When it was Father's Day, he left the car on because he was texting so many times.
Oh, wow.
We left the car on in the driveway, we went to the beach, and when we came back at nighttime, the car, all the gas was out. And also, our neighbor had our keys. He left the key and the engine on.
Oh, you left the car running the entire
That's how
day.
distracted he was, or he had
He was
distracted
very
me
distracted.
from a holiday. This is Father's Day, Stan.
Yeah.
So that was it, because he was telling me that this guy was texting him.
How long after
about the
you
pump.
sold the fuel pump did he start texting you, asking you for your money back?
18, 19 days.
19 days later, sir?
It was between the 25th and the 12th
Okay, thank you,
of
ma'am.
May.
72 times you texted him. How do you know? Did you count your text messages?
Pardon?
You counted your text messages?
Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, I'm not asking you to
About
count.
12, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
okay, sir. It's okay.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
$700 is a lot of money to spend on a product that you can't test ahead of time, because Craigslist sales, he's right about this one point. When you buy something from Craigslist,
Well,
it is an as-is sale. It's an as-is sale. Unless someone gives you a warranty, a written warranty, or a guarantee that it works, which he didn't, it's an as-is sale. Everything you've told me, sir, everything you told me does not establish that this is a person who gave you a written guarantee or any guarantee that this pump would work. He told you perhaps what he thought. I think it's a good pump. He doesn't know. And then you know that he bought it from another party. And you know, basically when you buy something from Craigslist, it's buyer beware. And as a former mechanic, you should know better. And here's the thing, you wanted a deal. You saw a pump on Craigslist for $700. They normally go for $1,200 or higher. You wanted a deal. So that's why you paid $700 for the pump. You didn't pay it because, oh, if they're selling it for $700, it must be good. You thought you were getting a bargain.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, but that's not his fault. Because when you buy something on Craigslist, you buy it as is. It is by default an as-is sale, unless you can come into court and produce to me a guarantee, a warranty from the defendant, and you have not been able to do that.
So what I can do is I can go back on Craigslist and put that pump on there and say I bought this from a person that said it was good for $1,100 and sell it to somebody else's for $700?
No, because you can't lie. Because you now know that the pump is bad. But you can't prove to me that he knew the pump was bad. If you lie to someone, that's fraud.
Right.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
You came in here and said he knew the pump was bad, he lied to me, completely different case, completely different scenario, completely different ruling. But you can't do that. But if you turn around and do that, then you're committing fraud, sir, so you can't do that. Okay. Unfortunately, this is just one of those things that didn't work out for you. But buyer beware, it's an as-is sale, and I can't do an as-is sale without a written guarantee or some kind of warranty from the defendant. Judgment in this case for the defendant. Good luck.
Thank you, Honor.
Was he on his girlfriend's lease?
Once she's locked up, you can't get back in the house.
No, I'm on her Section 8 voucher.
You are?
I'm on her Section 8 voucher. Lying.
Yeah.
But you're not on the lease.
You're lying. You straight lying. No, you lying.
Okay.
When she first got Section 8, I was on her voucher.
Order, sir.
So don't
Get some
tell
order,
me that.
please.
And a bedroom set battle begins.
If she changed the locks, you don't have access to the key. Why do they have to pay to let you in
They
to
didn't
the
have
house?
to pay.
That's a lie. That's a lie straight from the pit of hell.
Sir, don't
were
talk to
lying,
each other
Michael.
anymore.
Plaintiff Michael Duluth is suing the defendants for $5,000 for the cost of a bedroom set. He says that the defendants had no right to sell his property after they evicted him and his girlfriend from their home. Defendants Wayne and Joyce Clower say that the plaintiff was not even on the lease and that he was not supposed to be living there. They claim that they gave him plenty of time to remove his property, and when he didn't, they legally had the right to sell it. They're countersuing for $5,000 for emotional damages.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Duluth versus Clower and Clower.
Thank you, Barbara. Michael Duluth,
Yes.
you are suing the defendants Wayne and Joyce Clower for $5,000 for the cost of a bedroom set you say they owe you for.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing for $5,000 for emotional distress.
That is correct.
Okay, we'll start with you, Ms. Duluth. What's going on here?
Okay. On October 2012, my girlfriend rented a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house from the defendants. In January of the next year, 2013, we went to Ashley Furniture and we financed a 7-piece bedroom set.
You and your girlfriend?
Me and my girlfriend. I have the contract from Ashley Furniture.
Okay.
My girlfriend went to jail on June 1st of this year.
Well, wait, hold on a second. So in 2012, you lease is it an apartment or a house?
It's a house.
Okay, what kind of house is it?
It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house.
Where's the property located?
In Lancaster, California.
Okay, and so you leased the property to the plaintiff's girlfriend, and the plaintiff was not on the lease?
Not on the lease at all, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm not on the lease, but they knew I was there because.
Well, hold on a second. Well, I want you to take me from the beginning here. You say that you buy this bedroom set with your girlfriend, you finance it together, and you move it into the home?
No, I moved her over there. In 2012, she moved over there October.
Were you living with her in the home?
Yes.
The entire time?
No, I have my own apartment, but we share a daughter. My daughter's school is around the corner from that house. So it was easier for me to stay over there and walk my daughter to school.
So you stayed there approximately how many nights a week?
Like 4 nights a week.
Okay.
And the defendant knew I was there because they had a jacuzzi in the backyard.
Well, don't tell me what they knew. I'll ask them what they knew.
Oh,
okay. So you're in the home. You have the bedroom set that you purchased.
Yeah.
That you're suing them for today.
Yeah, we
what
purchased.
happens? Your girlfriend was arrested?
All right, she got arrested.
What was she arrested for?
Possession of cocaine or pills or something like that.
Okay, so some type of narcotics. Did she plead guilty?
She pled guilty and she got 16 months. She's supposed to get released next January coming up.
Okay, so she's now serving a 16-month sentence.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's how this all started because obviously when she's arrested and she goes to jail, no one's paying the rent, right?
No, nobody paid rent long before that.
Okay.
The last month she paid was in November of 2012. She was on Section 8. Section 8 paid their part, which was $800, in December and January. The lease was up January 31st.
Of what year?
January.
We had
14.
the Housing Authority, Section 8. We signed up with them. They gave us the list of the tenants who were supposed to be there. And 2 children,
Okay.
2 minor children.
He wasn't on that list,
No,
what you're saying.
I didn't meet him until 2013. And he was introduced as a friend.
So,
Is that true?
No, he's lying because he had a jacuzzi in the backyard and I stood out there with him while he removed that jacuzzi from that backyard. Oh,
Okay, I don't understand, sir. I don't understand what the jacuzzi has to do with this.
Because he's trying to
I just asked
say
you if he told the truth about when he first met you.
he's trying to say that he didn't know I was there.
Here's the reason why there's a dispute about if they knew you were there or not.
He knew I
because
was there.
eventually you went to court and got an eviction order.
That is
Yes.
correct.
For the plaintiff's girlfriend.
yes.
Yes.
And you say it was for non-payment of rent.
Yes. That
And the
is
court
correct.
actually granted you that order.
Yes.
They
When
did.
was that order? May I see it, please? And you know, with Section 8, they are very specific. When you get Section 8 benefits, they are very specific about wanting to know who's living in the home and what the income is of everyone living in the home. And you're saying his name wasn't listed.
His name is not on the
Your
lease.
Honor.
So he was introduced to you as, you say, a friend. I know you disagree, but you say as a friend.
That is
Approximately
correct.
how many times did you see him at the plaintiff's home before she was incarcerated?
Probably 3 times, maximum.
Yeah, I only saw him once.
What did you believe the relationship was between the plaintiff and your tenant?
When I first met him, he was introduced as a friend.
And not even give him his name.
Didn't even give me his name, just said, this is my friend. I went over there to check on something that they had did to the house in which they basically pulled all the carpet up to string speaker wire under the carpet. And I told her that wasn't in the lease, you wasn't supposed to do that. We wound up spending almost $400 to get that repaired.
But did you know that he was there on a regular basis?
No, we didn't.
I did not. Like I said, I've seen him probably 3-4 times, max.
Coming up on Judge Faith. Did they have the right to sell?
We put the stuff in storage for a month, and then we got it out.
Do you have proof of that? Do you have receipts for that?
Not with
us.
Your Honor,
So-
the stuff is right here in their front yard in a yard sale. The stuff is right here in their front yard. It ain't at no storage.
Well, after the fact.
Plaintiff Michael Duluth is suing the defendants for the cost of a bedroom set. He says the defendants had no right to sell his property after they evicted him and his girlfriend from their home. Defendants Wayne and Joyce Clower claim that they gave him plenty of time to remove his property, and when he didn't, they legally had the right to sell it. They're countersuing for emotional damages.
You got a notice of eviction from court.
Yes.
When do you find out that the plaintiff's girlfriend is incarcerated?
He called me, it was the 28th, I believe, of June, because the lockout was supposed to be on that Sunday. He called me on that Friday and told me that she was in jail and that he was Michael Duluth and he was her baby's father. And he said that he had got locked out. She took all of his clothes and his daughter's clothes. And his thing was to me that he wanted to get his daughter's clothes and he wanted to know if we could let him in.
So she goes to jail. You don't have a key?
No.
So once she's locked up, you can't get back in the house?
No. Now, back to what they saying. I'm on her Section 8 voucher.
You are.
I'm on her Section 8 voucher. I had to do the live scan, everything. So they're lying.
Yeah.
But you're not on the lease.
You're the one lying.
They're lying.
You straight lying. No, you lying.
Okay.
When she first got Section 8, I was on her
Some
voucher.
order, sir.
So don't
Get some
tell
order,
me that.
please. This is dated a year after the tenant moves into their home. So maybe at some point
I can explain
you were
that
on
to
the
you.
voucher,
I can explain
but the
that to
fact
you.
is, no, but the fact is you weren't on the lease ever.
Thank you.
Right?
Not for
Okay,
their house.
so you weren't on the lease ever. So the Section 8 issue is not really the issue before the court. The issue is if you were on the lease and if you had legal right and authority to the furniture in that home after your girlfriend was incarcerated. So your girlfriend goes to jail. You can't get in the home anymore, and you call them, and what happens?
I called Joyce. Joyce said, okay, she changed the locks. We can't get in.
Your girlfriend changed the locks.
So Joyce said that I have to go to get a locksmith, let the locksmith, pay the locksmith to let them in and make them a key for their house.
You didn't have a key?
No, we didn't.
She
locked
changed
us
Okay,
out.
so
She
why
locked
is that
everybody
why is that their problem? I mean, if she changed the locks, you don't have access to the key. Why do they have to pay to let you in
They
to
didn't
the
have
house?
to pay. I went to the locksmith. I made an appointment for July 1st between 11 and 12. She had charged me $85. But the locksmith said, the only way I can do this, one of them has to be there. Show with proof that they own this house. I called Joyce. I said, Joyce, the locksmith said that he'll be there on the 1st. She's like, you can't do it no sooner? Like they so in a rush to get her stuff out of that house. So I go there at 10:30, I call Joyce. Now she switched up. No, I'm not letting you in the house. So I'm like, why? These people sounded so Christian-like in the beginning. Because that's what they told me. And here's what Wayne was telling me. He said, man, I go to church. I have no problem with you. I had no problem with your daughter. I'm going to let you get the furniture. Because I said, man, this furniture is costing me $5,000.
That's a lie. That's a lie straight from the pit of hell.
Sir, Mr. Clower.
Preachers of LA.
Mr. Clower, hold on a second. So they never show up that day? No one shows up?
No.
Okay, so what happened?
We called the sheriff, and they said under no circumstances could we allow him in that house, nor us. They said if he was to get that stuff out of the house, it was supposed to have been before I believe it was the 30th of June.
What date did the lockout happen?
The lockout happened on 3rd of July.
Okay, so here's the situation. You want them to open up your girlfriend's home. You're not on the lease, so it's her home. You want them to go and open up that home and let you take things out without permission from your girlfriend. Did you get permission
Never
from
did.
your girlfriend? Did you
No,
ever
never
speak
did.
to her?
She called
couldn't
me.
do it.
He gave her our number. She called me the Saturday before the Sunday was the last day for them to have everything out of the house. She told me, Miss Clower, I'm sorry this has all happened. I'm in jail. You gonna have to wait until I get out of jail on the 10th of July to get my stuff. You just gonna have to wait, was her exact words. She did not say, release it to Michael, give it to him, not at all. She said, you gonna have to wait until I get out of jail to get my stuff. And when we got the lockout order, which was on the 3rd, we waited, we put the stuff in storage for a month. And then we got it out.
Do you have proof of that? Do you have proof that you put it in storage for a month?
You got receipts?
That's right. I got receipts that we paid the storage.
Do you
for a month.
have receipts for that?
Not with me.
Not with us.
Your Honor, the stuff is right here in their front yard in a yard sale. The stuff is right here in their front yard. It ain't at no storage.
Well, after the fact.
Stuff was in there.
Well, after the fact.
It wasn't after the fact. The pictures were took.
Out of storage.
Stop.
You lying.
No, I'm sorry, you wrong, son.
Don't talk to each other anymore.
Next on Judge Faith, who was at fault?
My niece called me, and she said, Uncle Michael, that man got your bedroom set in the front yard. I had to pray. Lord, keep me calm. Because every time I'll go around him, he roar up like a dog. Why you gonna call? Keep calling my wife.
Only Judge Faith can decide.
Now you're saying that when he opened the door, he didn't know who you were. That tells me that you were not a familiar face to him.
No, he knew who I was.
That he did not know
Because
that
he
you were
said-
living in the home.
Plaintiff Michael Duluth is suing the defendants for the cost of a bedroom set. Defendants Wayne and Joyce Clower are countersuing for emotional damages.
Your Honor, we put everything in storage.
Nothing in
You
storage.
had
We put it in
Excuse me,
storage
sir.
for a month. After that month, we got the stuff out of storage on the 8th and the 9th of August. And that's when we had the yard sale.
That is correct.
The 8th and 9th of
That's
August.
What's this a photo of, sir?
That's the guy that they sold the furniture, the bedroom set to
Next
for
photo.
$700.
Next photo.
They ain't put nothing in storage.
We did put it in
That's
What
the
is this?
bedroom set.
It's the bedroom set. Okay.
When I told them, I said, I need that furniture, because in the beginning, they were so
How
nice.
did you know there was a yard sale that day? How did you know to show up?
Because my niece called me, and she said, Uncle Michael, that man got your bedroom set in the front yard. I had to pray. Lord, keep me calm. Because every time I'll go around him, he roar up like a dog. Why you gonna call? Keep calling my wife. Because she kept not answering my calls. So I'm calling her, leaving her a message. Joyce, you said you're gonna let me get the stuff. Can I get it?
Well, sir, obviously they changed their mind about you going in to get the things. They can't let you in that house.
Thank you.
You're not on the lease. Legally, they cannot let you in the house with you not being on the lease and with them not having written permission from your girlfriend. Because even if she calls them up and gives them oral permission, which she says they didn't.
She did.
Even if she did, though, what's to stop her from then coming back and saying, I never said that. You let him go in and get my furniture. I never told you that they need written permission to cover themselves. So what happened to you sold the furniture in the house, ma'am, after it was in storage?
We sold some of it, yes.
And you sold the bedroom set?
Yes.
Are you still paying for the bedroom set?
Yeah.
How much?
It's
how
on
much
my
are you
credit
paying
for
for it?
$5,000.
How much did you sell it for?
We sold it for $700.
I'm driving by on the 19th. I see Wayne's truck. I get out my car, I walk up to the door. Wayne, he sees me coming, he opened the door. And in a nice voice, he says, may I help you? I said, yeah, I'm Michael. Here come the bulldog. Man, what you all keep calling my wife for?
He didn't know who you were?
No, he didn't know who I was in the beginning.
Okay.
But as soon as he found out it was me,
so
now
sir,
the anger
let me
come
just say
again.
something to you, because you told me before how he knew you from living in the home, and now you're saying that when he opened the door, he didn't know who you were. That tells me that you were not a familiar face to him.
No, he knew who I was.
That he did not know
Because
that
he
you were
said-
living in the home. Here's
said,
the
"May I
legal.
help you?"
I've heard enough. I've heard enough.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
You have a $5,000 counterclaim for emotional distress?
Yes.
What's that about?
Because, number one, I have 3 herniated discs in my back right now. And he kept calling me, stressing me out. Now this lawsuit, he's demanding that we give him a bedroom set. When he first walked up to our garage sale, he said, "Where's Joyce Clower?" I said, "I'm Joyce Clower." And he said, "I'm suing you. I'm suing you for $75,000. I'm gonna own this house. You think you something. Y'all think y'all something, you know. I'm gonna take this house. Yeah, I'm gonna own this house," is what he said exactly. Y'all selling this stuff and it ain't even y'all's. And
y'all was just taking money left and right for the furniture.
You know,
all we could get.
my clothes. And you know what, Your Honor, if we have a judgment against his girlfriend, and if he claims that he was living there, then he should be charged too. He should be paying some of the back money on that rent.
Okay. It was almost 9 months to the day.
Remember,
they had not paid one nickel.
Remember, I'm
one
not
nickel.
on the
But
lease.
you stayed there, so you claim.
Mr. Clower.
A whole bunch of people
Mr.
say what
Clower,
ain't on the lease.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
All right. Here's where we are. On your counterclaim for emotional distress, I do not find that you have testified to anything that rises to the level of you being awarded $5,000 for emotional distress. No, we're done.
Okay.
We're done. I know that this was a obviously contentious situation between the two of you. Based on the evidence I've looked at, there was a notice of eviction. It was properly posted on the door, properly served, properly notified, although your girlfriend was in jail, and the sheriff came out and did a lockout pursuant to a court order. The sheriff doesn't do a lockout because they tell them to. The sheriff does a lockout because the court tells them to. And after the lockout is done, it's very specific rules and guidelines in your state as to what happens with the property. A tenant only has a certain number of days to come and claim the property. And it's 15 to 18 days. When they don't during that time period, then they forfeit their right of possession. Now, if you say you own half of this property and you should have had legal right to come and get the bedroom set, it is up to your girlfriend to communicate that information to them. Based on everything I've heard today, you do not have sufficient proof that she communicated that information to the defendant. So I find that they were within their legal rights to have the garage sale and sell the furniture. Now, if your girlfriend wants to bring a claim because she's not a part of your case, if she wants to fight this and say that it wasn't right what they did after she gets out of jail, by all means, she can do so. But as far as your claim, sir, I do not find that you have a legal claim to this furniture. On your claim against him for $5,000, zero. On your claim against them, zero, sir. You have not met your burden of proof in court today. Judgments for the defendants.
A hope to reconcile their family turns into ugly accusations of violence and elder abuse.
He shot my son in the back with a pellet gun, just with the air, when he was 4 years old. And on another occasion, he took my son and threw him in a swimming pool when he couldn't swim.
I went into court and filed 2 restraining orders, one against David for domestic violence and one against Carolyn for elder abuse.
You have 4 kids now who do not speak to you. That's not all on them, sir.
Plaintiff Paul Konzelman is suing his son and daughter-in-law for months of unpaid rent and utilities after he opened his home to them. Defendants Carolyn and David Konzelman say the plaintiff was cruel, abusive, and evicted them after a fight. They are countersuing for emotional damage and defamation of character.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Konzelman versus Konzelman.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Paul Konzelman?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant David Konzelman and Carolyn Konzelman for $9,925. You say they owe you for unpaid rent, unpaid utility bills, incidental home expenses, and carpet cleaning?
Yes.
And you are countersuing?
Yes.
For $10,000, $5,000 for emotional distress, and $5,000 for defamation of character?
Yes. Yeah.
We'll start with you, Mr. Konzelman. Now, as I understand it, you are his son?
Yes.
And you are his wife, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you lived with your dad in his home for 5 years?
Yes.
And the lawsuit stems from the 5 years that your son lived with you?
Yes.
How did your son end up living with you in your home?
2009, I decided to buy a house because I had the money to do it. I had the credit to do it. and they were basically homeless. I say they were homeless because they were living in my apartment while I was driving, and then on weekends they were staying in a motel.
What do you mean by while you were driving?
I was a cross-country, or not cross-country, I was an interstate truck driver for an oil tanker company. I'd go to work on a Sunday night or a Monday, and I wouldn't come home till Friday or Saturday.
Okay,
so while I was going,
and you're retired now?
I'm disabled.
Go ahead.
I decided to try to get the family together and buy a home where they could share the home with me as long as they would pay a portion of the cost, the rent and their share of the utilities. So I bought this home. We closed escrow and moved in on September 2009.
What was the agreement in terms of how much they would pay you for rent?
The agreement that I understood with David was that he would pay half of the mortgage for rent.
How much was the mortgage?
It was $1,103. I also had an agreement with him for the utilities.
Tell me, Mr. Konzelman, were you homeless at the time?
No, we weren't. We
What
were
was
living
going on?
another friend's piece of property, and then on the weekends we would go to his apartment so we could take it easy, watch TV and stuff, because we didn't have TV and stuff.
You were living with a friend?
On their property, yeah. We had a trailer on their property we were living in.
Okay, but you
So
lived
we
in your
weren't
own
homeless.
place, just the two of you and your
My
child?
son, yes.
Got it, okay.
And when he brought up the fact of buying the house, yeah, we agreed to it. We thought it'd be nice to get the family together. And the one thing is he's never, ever kept the family together. I have two brothers and another sister who hasn't talked to in I don't know how many years because they can't stand the way he is, the way they treated him when they were younger.
What do you mean by that?
He just verbally abusive, mentally abusive. He shot my son in the back with a pellet gun, just with the air, when he was 4 years old. And on another occasion, he took my son and threw him in a swimming pool when he couldn't swim.
So, and sir, what, 4 years old, was that before you moved into the house with him?
Just before.
The swimming pool
was before. And then when we moved into the house, he shot my son in the back.
So before you moved into the house with him, you say he pushed your son into a swimming pool knowing
yes.
your son couldn't swim.
Right.
And you thought it was a good idea to then go in and move into a house with him?
Well, we didn't think it would be a continuous thing. Yeah, and I should have known from when I was a kid that he used to shoot my mom's cats because he couldn't stand cats.
That's a lie,
And
Your
hung
Honor.
it over our neighbor's for sale sign.
If somebody's shooting animals, it's you, and you just recently shot a dog, the neighbor's dog, and dumped him in the lot across the street.
No, I didn't,
Yes,
because
you
her
did.
dog is
Carolyn
still in
told
her
me.
yard.
Carolyn
Her white
told me
dog
you
is
did.
still in her yard.
Mr. Konzelman, listen, don't talk to each other. I know the two of you don't like each other, okay?
Not whatsoever.
That's not true. I do like my son.
Do you call him
Okay.
and...
You
Then
like
I don't want
us?
you to-
Then why did you file restraining orders and have us kicked out of the house?
Mr. Konzelman,
Okay.
I know you're upset and I know you're angry, but I want you to talk to me, okay?
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
When we first moved in there, he started bringing pigs home, okay? No pig pens built, nothing. Oh, we're gonna butcher and raise animals now, all right? Who all had to all go shoot the animals? Dave had to shoot the animals. Who had to butcher the chickens? Dave had to butcher chickens. Everything was done on his terms. If we didn't do it, there'd be a fight. And then it was, oh, you gotta get out. Every single time, if we disagreed with him. You know, the house, when we moved in there, was just basically a 1 acre dirt lot with one tree on it.
But there was a house.
Yeah, a house.
How many
That's a
bedrooms
house.
and bathrooms?
There's four bedrooms and two bathrooms. We had 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom.
Okay.
For what he's suing us for, saying, you know, we owe him money, all the work we put in this house would nullify it if he had to have contractors do this kind of work.
Well, but you agreed to pay rent,
Yes.
correct? And I read your answer. At some point, you say that you lost your job.
Yes.
You were unemployed, and so you weren't
Right.
able to pay rent to your dad.
Right.
And in exchange for the rent, there was an agreement between the two of you that you would butcher these pigs?
No. The agreement wasn't to butcher. It was all on his, oh, you got to butcher a pig. I sold this pig, and this guy wants us to butcher it. He's the one that made most of the money on it. I'd get a little bit of money out of it, but hardly anything.
That's not true, Your
Okay,
Honor.
tell me about it.
We started raising these animals, and we would slaughter them, and we would eat the meat. Some of the animals got sold off, yes. Some people brought us animals to butcher, and we charged him for that, and he was given money for doing that.
How would the money be split?
He'd get probably 70 to 80%.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's totally true.
Coming up on Judge Faith. There are no depths to this son's fury.
There's only 2 more times I have to see this man, is when we go to court tomorrow for this restraining order and when we move this furniture of ours out of his house. And I will never speak to him again. You'll never see his kids, grandkids, period. Like he wants to anyway.
Plaintiff Paul Konzelman is suing his son and daughter-in-law for back rent and utilities, claiming they didn't pay for years. Defendants Carolyn and David Konzelman say they did major work on the home and are countersuing for emotional damage.
How does it get to the point to where you want them out?
On August the 26th, I sold 2 animals to pay utility bills, because at that point, they had accumulated $3,800 worth of just utility bills. So I sold these animals because I needed the money to pay the bills, the cell phone.
Where was your
and stuff like
income
that.
coming from at this time?
I was only on Social Security, and I received $1,000 a month for disability. On disability.
So your total income for Social Security and disability was how much?
About $2,100.
And the mortgage was over $1,000, and you were paying that by yourself?
Yes, I was paying that by myself for 5 years.
How many months did you fall behind on the rent?
I'd say we probably fell behind a year and a half on rent.
Okay, and so
But
you
in
could
the meantime, but we maintain the property. Every day she's out there for 7-8 hours, watering, maintaining the animals.
Okay, but Mr. Konzelman, there is a mortgage that has to be paid,
I
sir.
understand this.
Okay, so are you telling me that your father agreed that if you would maintain the property, he would cover the mortgage for over a year and a half?
We made a verbal agreement that as long as we maintained our utilities, we'd be okay.
What are the photos you submitted to the court?
That's the house when we first moved in.
Okay.
You see there's nothing. This is another section of concrete that I formed and we poured.
Next photo.
This is one of the
pigs.
sows. This sow here happened to start killing their babies. But I have pictures of us having these piglets in the bathtub, feeding them every 4 hours.
No, every 2 hours.
Every 2 to 4 hours. We had to
For
feed
over
them.
a week, not take a shower because we had baby pigs in the bathtub.
These were all bottle-fed pigs. There's 3.
They're in the living room now.
Only 2 survived, and the run ended up dying.
But who paid for it all?
Okay.
That's always your
That's
excuse.
it?
Who paid for it?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Tell me about when you had them evicted from your home, how that came about and what happened.
Okay. On August the 26th, we had a big blowout in the garage.
Why?
Concerning selling these 2 animals.
He tried to double sell the animal. We had already.
Stop.
That's not true. That's a total lie.
I
You
give you
sold it to 2
$100.
other people.
Oh,
You
here
sold
comes the
it
real
to 2
law.
other people.
Here comes the real
and never
law.
told
I
me.
said stop it. You are not going to use this courtroom to come in and yell at each other and berate each other. This is not what you're here for. Do you understand?
Yes.
What happened?
I walked in to talk to him about this, and I found out then that they had taken the deposit from at least one person, and I found out later they took deposit from a second person on these animals. They had basically never told me that. So we had a big fight.
Okay, and what are you saying happened, ma'am?
That's
What are
not
you saying
true.
happened?
Prior to this, him selling the pigs to this other people, we had talked to him the week before, and
you did.
me and my friend had agreed, and my friend gave us a $100 deposit, which we gave him, and then he told us.
I did.
No, that was for utilities, and we wrote it on our calendar at home that, no, $100 for a pig. And we gave that money to him, and I see these people pulling into the driveway to look at the pigs. Well, there were 2, so we figured, all right, he's selling 1. Lo and behold, I go back to where the pig pens are, and he's selling both pigs. And he told us that, no, you didn't make that deal with me, and blah, blah, blah. I left from him. I went back to the garage. I was doing an oil change on my work truck.
Yeah, both of us did.
And I'm under the truck. He comes back in and starts yelling at us. And this is
And
how the whole
recording it,
thing got
too.
started.
That's not
So
true.
let me
And
ask
you're
you something,
recording
sir.
it,
At this
too.
point, your relationship, according to you, with your father has
Oh,
deteriorated.
it's over. I will never. There's only 2 more times I have to see this man. Is when we go to court tomorrow for this restraining order, and when we move this furniture of ours out of his house. That will be the end of it. I'm the last child he has. It speaks to him, and I will never speak to him again. You'll never see his kids, grandkids. Period.
Next on Judge Faith, verbal altercations turn nasty with accusations of fists and guns.
He threatened me in the garage to hit me, And the prior occasion was in my office, he threatened to shoot me.
Did you threaten to shoot
No,
him?
I did not.
Did you raise your fist in a way,
No,
in
I
a
did
manner
not.
in which
That's
you were
a lie.
going
There's
to
no
strike
reason
him?
for me to. It doesn't accomplish anything.
Plaintiff Paul Konzelman said he couldn't afford to have his son and daughter-in-law staying in his home rent-free and is suing for unpaid rent and utilities. Defendants Carolyn and David Konzelman say the plaintiff had them evicted with 10 minutes notice and are suing for emotional damage.
You had them evicted.
Okay.
Tell me
On
how
the
and why.
26th, during this argument, Carolyn was standing in the garage yelling and screaming at me. He was yelling and screaming at me, cussing me out, threatening me, and he charged me.
I wish I recorded it.
Cocked the swing, stopped a couple feet from me with his arm back, was going to hit me. Then I went in the house. Carolyn followed me in. I dialed 911, and she continued to yell and scream into the phone.
Did the police respond?
Yes, they did.
Is there a police report?
Yes, there is.
Do you have it with you?
No, I did not.
When did you go to court and get a restraining order?
I mulled it over for a while, and then on the 24th, I decided after they...
How many days later?
30, less than 28.
A month later?
Yes.
So a month later, you go into court and tell them what?
I went into court and filed two restraining orders, one against David for domestic violence and one against Carolyn for elder abuse.
So for 30 days, your son and your daughter-in-law are in the home with you.
And our son.
And your grandson. And for 30 days, you're going to sleep, you're getting up, you're eating your meals, you're doing what you need to do for 30 days?
Yes, I took my time to think it over. What was I going to do about
And
the
so
situation?
what happened with the restraining order, sir?
The judge granted me the restraining order and move-out orders over the abuse.
And what was the basis for the restraining order?
Was that he threatened me in the garage to hit me, and the prior occasion was in my office he threatened to shoot me.
Did you threaten to shoot him?
No, I did not.
Did you raise your fist in a way,
No,
in a
I
manner
did not.
in which you were going
There's
to
no
strike
reason
him?
for me to. It doesn't accomplish anything.
The restraining order is granted
On the 24th.
on the 24th, and when are they evicted from the home?
The 26th, the sheriff showed up as she was leaving for work.
Were you aware that he
She
got a
wasn't-
restraining
no,
order?
We had no
leaving the
idea
work.
this happened because we had just given him money the day before.
Is that true?
Yes.
What happened when the sheriff showed up, ma'am?
They came at the door, at the gate. Actually, I had to let him in. I had to get my son out of bed. He was not even out of bed yet. And they told me 10 minutes to pack my stuff. So I just grabbed the necessary things I need for my child and for me, and some of the pants for him because I knew we had a Saturday job.
And where did you go?
I went into the car and I went actually to school. I dropped my son off at school. I talked to the school, to the principal, and to the teacher. And then I went to work. And after work, we got together and figured out.
And where did you sleep that night?
We went and got a hotel room because I had gotten paid from work.
And where are you staying now?
We're still staying in a hotel until we got another week before our apartment will be ready.
You have a counterclaim for $5,000 for emotional distress and $5,000 for defamation of character. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we live in the same house, but we would spend most of the time out in the garage because we didn't want to be in the house because we didn't know where we were going to walk into with him. Like if there was going to be an argument or what he was going to complain about.
He didn't like me, so that was obvious.
He's never liked her from the get-go.
So what was it like living in the house?
Horrible. For me, it was horrible.
Like
I
walking
stayed
on
outside.
eggshells.
I did
It's
this. I did the gardening to be outside. I took care of the pigs. And
The less we were in the
my
house,
son.
the better. Like I said, with being laid off, it was hard to find someplace else
But
to
she
go
was
right now.
abusive to me.
Abusive to you?
You yelled and
Good
screamed
morning,
all the time.
I'm
Every
switching.
day
You
she
yelled
would
and
say,
screamed
good
at me
morning.
all the time. That's why you
Yeah,
got kicked
because
out.
Let me ask you something.
I
When you
just-
moved in with him, were you trying to rekindle your
Yes,
relationship with him?
yes.
Okay. And why was that?
Because I was the last one he had. His own family members, other than one sister, speak to him. None of them.
None
will
of the
speak
other
to him.
siblings?
None of the other siblings.
Why don't your other kids speak to you?
My daughter doesn't like me because of the divorce that we went through. My youngest son, he lives with his mom up in Utah, and his brother lives down in Orange County, and he owes me money I loaned him for his divorce, and I said, well, send that money to your mom. He never did.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Despite the restraining order, which I think you used as a tool just to get them evicted immediately from the home, instead of going through the proper procedure, if they're not paying rent, if they're not doing what they need to do, you go to eviction court. But you don't go and get a restraining order and have them and your 9-year-old grandson kicked out in 10 minutes. But you can't live in a home rent-free, you understand?
We understand
And
that.
based on his income, the Social Security and the disability, that's not enough money for him to pay the mortgage on his own. I believe you owe him for back rent. How much was the monthly rent you agreed to pay initially?
$500.
Okay, $500 a month?
Yes.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to order you to pay back rent, sir, for 1 year in the amount of $500 a month, so that's a total of $6,000. I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff. However, on your emotional distress claim, I actually think that being suddenly evicted from your home with no notice, with your child and with your wife, is a very emotional, traumatizing, and distressful situation when I don't really and truly believe it was warranted, sir. So, verdict for you, $6,000 for back rent, but I'm going to offset that and order you to pay them $2,000 in emotional distress. That leaves a $4,000 judgment in your favor. I wish you all the best of luck. You know, this case, the $4,000, the money involved in this case, in the grand scheme of things, it's irrelevant.
Petty.
Because you have a grandson and you say your grandson is never going to see his grandfather again.
He's here.
I don't believe that.
You have 4 kids now who do not speak to you, who do not communicate with you.
You don't care.
That's not all on them, sir. Some of this is on you, and you've got some soul searching to do. Judgment for the plaintiff, $4,000.
He took his prized Trans Am out for a Sunday drive and says they destroyed it. Now he wants them to pay to have it restored.
I looked inside my car and was just stunned by how much dirt, leaves. The car was just completely covered inside and out.
Hey man, we got the cleanest solution in the truck, you know. We can do this right here, right now. He sped off like a bat out of HE double hockey stick.
But did you not try to negotiate with them before filing a lawsuit and try to come to some type of settlement?
And later, did he take her for a ride?
What do you know about cars? Not a whole lot. Because that's who I get into my courtroom, friends who trust each other and don't put anything in writing, and then you end up here.
Plaintiff Robert Byrd says the defendant's leaf blower blew dust and debris into his prized Trans Am. He's suing for the cost to detail his car. Defendants Eric and Chris Dillon say the plaintiff's car can be detailed for much less, and they don't owe him any money because they offered to detail the car themselves.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, we have Byrd versus Dillon.
Thank you, Barbara. Robert Byrd,
Yes, ma'am?
you are suing the defendants Christopher Dillon
Yes, ma'am.
and Eric Dillon
Yes, Your Honor.
for $1,397. Sir, you own Big Red Landscaping?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you had this company and been in business?
30 years.
And that's all in the St. Louis area?
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't we start from the beginning and you tell me what happened?
Basically, it was August 1st, beautiful fall day. I decided to pull out my pride and joy, which was a 2002 Trans Am that I keep in the garage, mint condition. Only has 20,000 miles on it at this point.
How often do you drive it?
Once a week, twice a week, maybe.
Why is this car so important to you?
I own several vehicles, and I've always loved the Trans Am. It was the last year they were manufacturing the vehicle, so I wanted it as a keepsake item. Parked it, went around back. We and my family.
Where did you park the car?
In the driveway behind the other 2 vehicles that were there also.
Okay.
And went around back with family members sitting on the porch, basically just chit-chatting, enjoying the day. I did see, I believe it was this gentleman next door cutting the neighbor's yard, the backyard. Then as I was sitting there, I heard what sounded like a leaf blower out front. And something in my mind just clicked and said, oh my God, my car's out there with the windows down and the T-tops off. So I ran out front immediately. And there was another gentleman, tall, he's not here today, but tall, with a cap, white hair.
You had other people working with you?
I had 2 other gentlemen working with me.
Okay.
And one of the gentlemen was using a gas-powered leaf blower, and rather than blowing the leaves out into the street, which I assume would be collected then, he's literally blowing it directly into my vehicle. And the yard that he was working on, unfortunately, was one that doesn't have much in the way of grass, so it was mostly dirt, debris, and leaves. I looked inside my car and was just stunned by how much dirt, leaves. The car was just completely covered inside and out.
Let me see the photos. Oh, that's the Trans Am before?
Correct.
Does look clean. Is that in your garage?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the yard, and you can see a piece of my vehicle in the upper right corner. Now, these are the after photos. I know it's difficult. You can see the leaves. There's dirt all inside the
How
door
you know
jam.
the leaves couldn't have fell from the particular tree above?
You want $1,400 for 2 leaves?
You're saying
there's more than
but
two.
you brought your
Mr. Dillon, Mr. Dillon.
I'm sorry.
Let's go to the next.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
There's a few more.
There's some dirt. I see some dirt down
That's footprints.
there.
If I get in my car and I'm sitting in dirt, I'm pretty sure, Your Honor, that I would step in dirt.
But what he's saying is this is a car that he kept in pristine condition. There was no, you're never going to get all of that out, by the way.
Probably
let's go
not.
to the next photo.
This is on, I believe, the dash. It's hard to see, but you can see all the dirt and dust covering the entire top of the dash, which is now down in the crevices, the vents, you name it.
You weren't there, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't you have a seat for a second?
I sure will.
Chris, what's going on here? How did this happen?
Okay, I come down off the ladder after cleaning the gutters, and I hear all of the profanity in the world. I'm like, what is going on down here? So I come down, and it's, MF this and blah, blah, this. And so I said, hey, what's going on? And he said, your man blew all the leaves in my car. And I was like, we would never deliberately blow any leaves in anybody's car. I said, well, hey, okay, even if we did blow the leaves in your car, how can we fix this? What kind of resolution can we come to? And he said, he said, well, I mean, there's stuff everywhere. I said, well, how about this? How about we detail your vehicle? And he looked and he's like, what do you mean detail my vehicle? Because we detail vehicles on the weekends when we're not cutting grass. So with that being said, look, I say, hey man, we got the cleanest solution in the truck, We can do this right here, right now. He's like, no, I don't want to have no part in that. And I told him, I said, okay, well, how about this? How about I give you the money to get any type of cleaning service that you would like, anyone. And he turned that down, and, he was steady, cussing at my employee, and then he just sped off.
How much dust and debris was in the, did you see the dust and debris on the vehicle?
No, he sped off like a bat out of HE double hockey stick. So.
And what do you have to say, Mr. Eric Dillon? What do you have to say?
I have to say he's lying because you would have to call the police that particular day, not wait 3 weeks
you
later.
Call 3 weeks later to call
Not
the police.
3 weeks later when you can dirty your car up, when you can probably do whatever you want in 3 weeks.
26.
And then come back and say, well, they did this and they did this.
Okay, so what happened? You didn't call the police that day?
Actually, I did, and this is the police officer's card that I called on that day and actually took a look at my car. The problem is when we returned to where it happened, which is about 1 street away from my family's house, they were gone. All I had was the license plate of the blue van they were driving, and this was the day that I contacted Creve Coeur Police, this officer. I wasn't able to contact them that day because they left. What I did do is ask my family to immediately call me when they returned to cut the grass again, which I believe was 2 weeks, maybe 3. I'm not exactly sure how long. And the minute they called and told me that they were there cutting the grass, I called the police, told them to go over there, and went over and explained what happened 2 weeks earlier and said, all I need is his information so that I can then sue. And the second set of police officers provided the information, telephone number.
So did you not
address.
try to negotiate with them before filing a lawsuit and try to come to some type of settlement?
Coming up on Judge Faith, is Robert overpaying for his classic to be cleaned? Or are Chris and Eric trying to bail out on the bill?
The car needs to be detailed and cleaned inside and out because I keep this immaculate.
Why ain't somebody's going to pay $1,000 for a car to get detailed when there's a little dust and a little dirt on it?
$100 a leave.
So I believe it happened. The question is, how much is it going to cost?
And later, was he doing his friend a favor?
I feel like he betrayed me. He knew that my family and I were desperate. He knew I had this money.
Or was it just a play for her pocketbook?
Well, I checked the Blue Book value of the car, and the Blue Book value of the car in good condition is a little over $1,700 for that year, make, and model. It's nowhere near $3,500.
Plaintiff Robert Bird says his prized Trans Am was damaged by the defendant's leaf blower. He's suing for the cost to detail his car. Defendants Chris and Eric Dillon admit it was their leaf blower that damaged the classic car, but say they don't know anything because they offered to detail the plaintiff's car themselves.
Sir, please go on.
I spoke to on the telephone, asked him, said, you know, the car needs to be detailed and cleaned inside and out because I keep this immaculate. And
also,
Mr. Dillon, what was your response to that?
My response was I told him, here's all the details that he had requested. I says, in our neighborhood, that will detail and clean your car. And he, excuse me, would you give those to me, Honor, please? And so I explained to him that I would pay any one of these companies if he would like to get his car detailed.
Okay, so that seems fair.
In the meantime, I got in touch with the other people in the area, and they said they were not interested in getting their cars cleaned or washed that particular day, okay?
Well, who are you speaking of? His relatives?
I guess it's
his relatives. Oh, so they didn't care about getting their car detailed?
They didn't want anything.
Sir, you wrote something interesting in your complaint I wanted to ask you about. You said that you made contact with them and you tried to settle the matter, and one of the things you offered was to have them sell a tow truck that you had.
Correct, a Suburban, a truck.
Okay.
Right.
What was the offer?
Basically, initially, I said I'd settle it for $150, and I'll do it myself, although, you know, it would take time. Then.
So have you sold a tow truck since then?
Then I offered that, and Big Red stopped calling me after that. So I left a phone message with him saying, well, you work in the industry, and I happen to have a Suburban truck that I'm getting rid of. If you can find somebody that'll buy it, great. I'll call it even. Since I figured he's in the industry, he'd know somebody that wants a towing vehicle that can tow, you know, equipment. I thought that would be a fair deal. Never heard from him again, never saw any paperwork, so at that point I decided, well, why should I detail my own car?
I'm not actually into selling cars or dealing with selling cars.
You don't sell cars, sir. You landscape, and you detail cars on the weekend, according to you.
Hoorah!
Okay.
I would like to know why didn't, you know, if you're being charged with something, why didn't he took the police and have them make a police report on
Well,
this?
you're not being charged with anything. You're not being charged with anything. This is just a civil matter, and he just wants to be compensated for having to have his car detailed. No one's saying, sir, that you or your workers did anything intentionally or deliberately. And your son is here today, and he is a witness to this account that the vehicle was there, that the individuals were in the yard blowing leaves, and then we have photos of leaves and dirt and debris inside of this Trans Am. So I believe it happened on that day at that location with the young men who were servicing the yard. The question is, how much is it going to cost? Have you had the car detailed since then?
I had the exterior done partially, only a wash, because I did it immediately because it was bothering me just sitting there with dirt.
Why do you want $800 for this detail job, sir?
It's not that I want it, it's the detailing service that'll come out and detail it once.
There's no way in sand that nobody's going to detail a car. You can buy a car for $1,000. Now, why ain't somebody's going to pay $1,000 for a car to get detailed when there's a little dust and a little dirt on there?
$100 a leaf.
And I mean, okay. You know.
Okay, all right. Two things here. First, there's the issue of liability. Are you responsible? I find that you are. And so I'm going to order you to pay for the detailing of his car, but I have come up with a much more reasonable number based on my phone calls to the St. Louis area detailing shops. And I think you can get a great detailing job for $300, sir. Verdict for the plaintiff, $300.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Plaintiff Cindy Cannon says her former friend unloaded a car on her that broke down shortly after she bought it from him. She's accompanied by James Antonson. Defendant Jim Vasili claims he sold the car as is, and Cindy didn't take care of it properly. Now she's telling their friends that he ripped her off. He's countersuing for defamation. He's accompanied by Jeremy Barrick.
Cindy Cannon, you are suing the defendant Jim Vasili for $6,300, the cost of a car you purchased from Mr. Vasili and also lost wages.
Correct.
And you understand the statutory maximum in my court is $5,000.
Correct.
And Mr. Vasili, you are countersuing for $2,000 for defamation of character and also missed work.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Cannon, we will start with you. Why did you need a new car?
Because I had no car to get to work and help my family get out of our situation. You know, we've lost our house, we've been struggling.
So are you homeless right now?
I am.
Okay, so where are you living?
In a campground.
Okay. Who do you live with?
My 2 sons.
Did you take it to a mechanic before you purchased it?
I did not.
What do you know about cars?
Not a whole lot.
Because that's who I get into my courtroom, friends who trust each other and don't put anything in writing, and then you end up here.
But he had never betrayed me.
Mr. Vasili, did you betray her?
No, I wouldn't, ma'am.
What did you tell her about the car and the condition the car was in when you sold it to her?
When she purchased the car, I went from bumper to bumper and went over everything I knew about the car. Anything that was wrong with it, I tried to bring her attention to it. I told her how critical it was that she watch the motor engine level. And I also told her that Jeremy Bark had rebuilt the motor prior to me getting the car from here.
It was a 2004 car with 187,000 miles.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't think that a car with that many miles needed to be checked out before you purchased it?
Well, no, it's not that I didn't think it, but he said it was rebuilt. And on the title of the car, it only says it has 179,000 miles when I purchased the car. I feel like he betrayed me. He knew that my family and I were desperate. He knew I had this money. He had his own financial issues.
Did you paid $3,500 for this car?
I did.
Did you check the Blue Book value before you purchased it?
I didn't.
Did you check the Blue Book value before
Yes, ma'am, I did.
you sold it? So you know that the car was only worth about $1,700. The Blue Book value of the car was only worth $1,700.
Our cars the same year, model and type, are selling for $3,500, ma'am.
Well, I checked the Blue Book value of the car, and the Blue Book value of the car in good condition is a little over $1,700 for that year, make, and model. It's nowhere near $3,500.
Next on Judge Faith, is she ruining his reputation or just telling her truth?
Every friend I know that we have of mutual friends that Cindy's talked to, she's basically told them that I've ripped her off.
Based on the value of the car and the fact that you sold it for twice its value, I'm not sure I disagree with her.
Plaintiff Cindy Cannon says she trusted her former friend had sold her a reliable car, but it broke down shortly after she bought it from him. Defendant Jim Vasili claims he sold the car as is, and now Cindy is telling all their friends he ripped her off. He's countersuing for defamation.
You paid almost twice the value of the car for the year, make, and model that it's worth. And then you don't know a lot about cars. It has over 100,000 miles, and you didn't take it to a mechanic. The reason why I'm saying all of these things to you, because when you buy a car, a used car, even if you don't put anything in writing, the default position of the car is that it is being sold as is.
Correct.
And that you are purchasing the car as is. You brought a witness with you today?
I did.
Who's your witness?
This is James.
James, step up.
I'm a mechanic, been doing it for 46 years.
Did she bring the car to you to check?
She brought the car to me. She said it had a little leak. It had more than a little leak. She was dumping 2 quarts a day out the top of the valve cover. The motor was rebuilt wrong.
Okay, and you brought a witness with you today too?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's your witness?
The witness is the person I bought the car from, Jeremy Bark. He's also the person that rebuilt the motor.
Okay, step up, sir. Are you a mechanic?
No, I'm a plumber.
I'm sorry?
A plumber.
You're a plumber?
Yeah, I do plumbing.
How are you rebuilding a motor in a car?
Elias is a friend of mine. He's a certified ASE mechanic, and he did the work. I was just his helper. I helped him rebuild the engine.
Sir, being that you're a plumber, I'm just going to have to ask you to sit back down and based on Miss Cannon's testimony and the testimony from her witness, who's a mechanic and not a plumber, it sounds like there are some real issues with the engine in the car. What do you have to say about that?
Ma'am, I disclosed everything I knew about the car to Cindy prior to her buying it.
You told me that.
Well, you did tell her that the engine had been rebuilt, correct?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
And you charged her twice the amount that the car is worth.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Mr. Vasili, you are countersuing for defamation and loss of income. Tell me about that.
Every friend I know that we have of mutual friends that Cindy's talked to, she's basically told them that I've ripped her off and how unfair I've been about this. That coupled with the fact that it's cost me some money to be here today and also prepare for this case, that's the actual what I'm suing for.
Okay, so in her opinion, you did rip her off. And based on the value of the car and the fact that you sold it for twice its value, I'm not sure I disagree with her on that. So her expressing her opinion to people that you know and to people that she knows, that doesn't rise to the level of defamation of character. She's just expressing her truth. Okay, so on your counterclaim 0. So you bought the car, it is by default an as-is sale. The only exception to that is if a person makes a specific warranty to you. If they tell you that the car is running in a certain way, and in this case, the defendant actually told you that the engine had been rebuilt. Whatever was going on with the engine, it had been rebuilt incorrectly. And that's where all of the issues with the car came in. So I'm not going to award you the full price that you paid for the car, which is $3,500, but I am going to award you the Blue Book value of the car, which is the car in good condition for this year, make, and model. My judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,750.
Plans for a graduation vacation go bad, but don't go south.
The problem was it's in the wrong state. She thought Myrtle Beach was in North Carolina. We got this trip for dirt cheap and they want to complain about ridiculous stuff.
I get the impression that none of you really knew where Myrtle Beach was.
And later, this chef's dream of a restaurant on wheels was shut down when he discovered the food truck he bought was a kitchen nightmare.
He didn't tell me that the floor was gonna fall through. You know, he told me he was gonna help me out, but he didn't. He sold me a dream.
When you make a decision to go into business, you really have to have some knowledge about the industry and what you're getting yourself into.
Plaintiffs Tiffany Armstrong, Michaela Bennett, and Sierra Niles are suing their former friend for vacation rental costs and punitive damages. Defendant Destiny Cherry said her friends left her to make plans, and she did the best she could. She is accompanied in court by her father, Daron Cherry.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Niles, Bennett, and Armstrong versus Cherry.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, Sierra Niles, Michaela Bennett, and Tiffany Armstrong. You are suing the defendant Destiny Cherry for $300 for the cost of a canceled senior trip and $1,000 in punitive damages. Okay, which one of you wants to start first? Tell me what happened.
I'll start.
And who are you?
I'm Sierra.
Okay.
Basically,
how do you know the defendant?
We were friends. We've been friends since our freshman year in high
who
school.
are you, sir?
I'm Destiny's father.
Okay, why don't you have a seat for a second? Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Sierra.
Basically, where we live in Akron. Every year, like after graduation, we go to Myrtle Beach for senior trips. So we decided that we wanted to do that. And
who's in charge of planning the trip?
She put herself in charge.
Tell me about that. How did that happen?
She texted us and told us that her mom had connections with the condo that she was getting us. So her mom basically booked it for us.
Okay, and you all gave her money for the condo?
Yes.
Where was the trip supposed to be?
South Carolina, but she booked the house in North Carolina.
And that's where the problem
because it was in the wrong state.
Yes.
Okay, and how much money did you give her?
$94 each.
Okay. So Destiny, what happened?
They kind of assumed that it was in South Myrtle Beach. I never said north or south. I said it around the Myrtle Beach area, you know?
But you know there's a big difference between North and South Myrtle Beach and where you booked the condo.
It's about a 30, 45-minute difference driving time. And so I'm like, okay, well, you guys would drive 10 to 11 hours, so what is a 45-minute difference gonna hurt?
What's your name?
Michaela.
Michaela,
Yes.
What was your understanding as to the destination of the trip, where you were supposed to go?
My understanding was we were supposed to go to
Hold on
South Carolina.
South Carolina, the Myrtle Beach area.
Yes.
I get the impression that none of you really knew where Myrtle Beach was.
Your Honor, excuse me, can I speak? They put this all in my hands. All they had to do, okay, first of all, the condo that my mom put her name in for us did us a favor. The rental that I booked myself, that I did everything on my own.
You had to put a deposit down to reserve the condo?
Yes, we all put $29 in for a deposit besides Sierra because she came in the situation later. And so,
$29?
Exactly. We got this trip for dirt cheap and they want to complain about ridiculous stuff.
One second. What was the problem with the location that she booked?
The problem was it's in the wrong state, and it's like she wanted us to put in. She wanted us to put money up for gas that we didn't have, basically. Like, she just wanted us to fix the problem.
She booked at a location in North Carolina, which is where a lot of retirees.
Exactly.
want to go to.
It wasn't
North Carolina.
North Myrtle Beach
Okay.
and South Myrtle Beach. It was us.
It was North Carolina, that
South
location in South Carolina.
South Carolina.
And you wanted to go to the one where the big parties are
Yes,
that people go to
basically.
for their
Your
trips. When do you find out that the condo is in North Carolina?
We found out on June 7th, which was a week before we were going to leave.
And what was your response to that?
We texted her and we asked her where was the house at because she said she lost the contract. She didn't know any of the information.
Well,
She
did
didn't
you all
wanna-
do anything to volunteer to help?
We didn't know.
Okay.
Because she took control of it. She seemed like she had everything under control.
Right.
See,
I
they just
understand that. I understand that.
They could.
Destiny.
Why can't I talk?
What was the issue with the condo? Did you, when you realized that the condo was in North Carolina and not South Carolina, where you all really wanted to be, did you try to talk to the condo and get a refund?
There was nothing I can do about that because
No, she didn't try.
Excuse me.
Even here it says,
said,
I'm not even trying to be the B word, but there's no refund. I'm not calling that lady. I'm not canceling the trip.
What are you reading?
The text messages.
Let me see the text message. Barbara, would you hand that to me?
Can I speak, Your
What
Honor?
happened, Destiny, with the condo?
There was no, for me, there was no refund because I was still going. I paid for this trip. It's not just about them. My money was in it too. Me and another girl were still going, so it's no refund because we were still going and our money was in it. It's not, we paid too.
5 other
and
people.
We paid too. Okay, but we paid too. It's not just about you guys because you guys.
And it's not about you. It's not about you either.
We
Why
all
wouldn't you
put,
try to
I
accommodate
put
us,
my
Destiny?
money into it.
We
so
all
I'm
put
going
our money
to go.
into you, and you messed up.
Ladies,
At
ladies,
any point in time,
ladies.
you guys could have came and got this
Keep it
contract.
up, and I'm going to send Barbara over there. You don't want me to have to do that.
Coming up on Judge Faith.
It wasn't like we didn't want to go. They didn't have no plans for us to do. She wasn't like we don't have that much money.
Well, is she?
to
Is
spend on
Destiny
the
a
trip.
travel agent?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
And later, the chefs serve up some wild stories for what really went down on this food truck fiasco.
He tells me, I got these Russian investors, they took my fingerprint, they took my picture of me, my is on the line here.
At this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, he's gonna con me out of my money and the truck.
I mean, it just looks like there's some really shady business going on with you keep prolonging this and leading him on about the truck.
Tiffany Armstrong, Michaela Bennett, and Sierra Niles say their friend booked their vacation in the wrong state and are suing for a refund of their money. Defendant Destiny Cherry says she booked what they could afford.
Destiny, you felt like because they could have gone on the trip if they
Yes.
wanted to.
Nothing stopped
and they
them. Nothing
chose
hindered them.
not to go,
Yes.
that you didn't owe them a refund.
Yes.
It wasn't like we didn't want to go. They didn't have no plans for us to do. She wasn't like we don't have that much money.
Well, is she?
to
Is
spend on
Destiny
the
a
trip.
travel agent?
Thank
Like,
you.
why is she
You're
planning all the
right.
activities? I mean, she volunteered.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just wondering because here's what's going on. Here's what I'm thinking about right now.
To do in Myrtle Beach.
Was this your first trip out of state?
No.
Just amongst friends. So have you guys been to this beach before?
No.
The way I hear this, she made a mistake.
Yes.
You understand?
And she didn't try to correct
She
her
didn't
mistake.
try to accommodate us at all.
She didn't try to do anything. I understand. I would have
because
went.
it was petty.
But
It was 30 to 45 minutes. What is a 10-hour drive to a 45-minute
every
difference?
day.
That's
every
nothing.
day.
The gas
Who's
station.
driving
but
that?
you think-
And
let me
it's
ask you
long
something. Do you
ride.
really
And
think-
in a normal,
Okay, can I speak? In a normal city, it would take that much to get to all the attractions anyways.
Girls, girls,
Why are you so
direct your questions to the judge, your
Okay.
comments to the
Okay.
judge, please. Don't talk to each other.
There's a better way to handle things when they don't work out the way you want them to work out.
We tried.
Number
And
one, no, let
I
me
called-
finish. This is my time to talk. Let me finish. Destiny and her mother put down the credit card to reserve this condo. You have to understand that she meant to book the condo in the right location. She made a mistake. And the three of you, you've all told me that none of you volunteered to help in this planning process. She volunteered to do it, but none of you stepped up and said, hey, Destiny, I'll help you out. Let me help you look. She did that, her own time and effort to do that. And you guys just, took her to the Raptors on Twitter and
we
in
did
text
not.
messages. Yes, you
No, we
did.
did.
Who's Thug Life?
Me.
That's your Twitter
That's me.
handle?
That's me.
What do you think a person is going to think about you when they see that your Twitter handle is Thug Life?
I mean, I don't know.
They're not going to think anything nice. You're 18 years old. Are you going to college?
Yes.
Are you going to get a job?
Yeah, I have a job.
What about when employers see that your Twitter handle is Thug Life? You don't think that they're going to think a certain way about that?
I mean, I don't know.
Everything that you put on social media now, these tweets that you guys are tweeting, who tweeted about the AK-47?
That was not about her.
What was that about?
Can I talk?
That wasn't about her at all.
You guys, you should have just gone on the trip. The beach is only 45 minutes away.
Who's
I
paying for that?
actually really desperate. What's the big deal? Dad, what do you want to say? What do you want to say?
What does he have to say?
What do you want to say?
No, I just felt bad about the situation. Because where we're from in Akron, it's many people getting killed regularly. And it's a very serious situation out there. And they're tweeting AK-47. People are literally getting killed every day.
Nothing to do with her. Like she's
No, he makes a good point.
I'm just saying that it seemed that's what my daughter told
what
me. I
he's
didn't say you guys
listen,
meant it.
I know what subtweeting is, and I know what that means. That means you don't mention the person, but you're tweeting things. It's like sending out those subtweets because you want someone to read it.
This happened last week.
This happened last week.
This has nothing to do with her at all.
Nothing to do with her.
Who are you referring to then when you mentioned AK-47?
I didn't say AK-47.
Who sent the tweet about the AK-47?
That wasn't me. I didn't say nothing about AK-47.
Okay, so why are you tweeting about an AK-47?
I mean, it's Twitter. I didn't know, I had to filter my tweets.
Everything you put on the internet, consider it permanent. Consider it, you can never remove it. It will always be associated with your name. Everything you put on Facebook, everything you put on Twitter, everything you put on Instagram, you never know who's reading it, who's taking screenshots of it. You never know. So in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I'm just tweeting it and my friends are just reading it. That's not the case. So don't tweet about AK-47s and send vile threats via Twitter because someone can take that very seriously and the next thing you know, the police are knocking on your door.
Okay, but that has nothing to do
But it's no direct connection to her. There's no direct connection to her.
All right, ladies, I've heard enough. If this is such a big problem for all of you and you took it to this level that you did, you're 18 years old, if her making a mistake and booking a condo in the wrong state is the biggest problem you'll ever have in your life, consider yourselves very lucky, okay? This cannot be the way. This cannot be the way you react to something when it doesn't work out just quite the way you want it to work out. You understand? I'm not going to punish her for trying and making a good faith effort to book this trip, and I'm not going to make her pay you back $300. So my judgment in this case is for the defendant. Good luck.
Plaintiff Thomas Clark says his dreams were shattered when he discovered the food truck the defendant Abel Contreras sold him was a kitchen nightmare on wheels. Joining him in court is his girlfriend, Susie Demergian. Defendant Abel Contreras claims he sold the food truck as is, and the plaintiff got what he paid for.
Mr. Clark, you say the defendant ruined your dream by selling you a bad food truck. You're suing him for $7,000 for the down payment on the truck plus improvements you gave him money for. Mr. Contreras, you claim the plaintiff got what he paid for and that he has possession of the truck, so you don't owe him a dime. Mr. Clark, I'll hear from you first. What made you want to buy a food truck and get into this business in the first place?
Well, I've been in the food industry for about 20 years, and I wanted to step away and, start my own business. I saved my tips, and then I put it in this man, and I trusted him, and he just blew it all away.
You gave him $7,000 with the understanding that he would fix up the truck. You agreed to that.
Yeah.
So I want to go with what happened next because that's where the conflict really arises in this case. You gave him the truck. You sent it out to be worked on. What happened?
He gets investors to invest in this dream that he has and sells them before he even has the truck and do all this stuff.
But you sold me the dream. You
sold me the dream.
Listen, you had the dream.
Don't speak to him, speak to me.
Next on Judge Faith.
Did you have the title?
No, I didn't have the title. I bought it and never fixed it.
You have to have the authority to sell a truck. He can't register a truck without a title. That's a game changer, actually.
Plaintiff Thomas Clark says his dream of a restaurant on wheels was shattered when he discovered the food truck he bought was a kitchen nightmare. Defendant Abel Contreras claims he sold the food truck as is, and the plaintiff got what he paid for.
Sir, please go on.
He tells me, Abel, look, this is taking way too long. I got these Russian investors. They took my fingerprint. They took my picture of me. My is on the line here. I need to speed this up. This process is taking way too long. I said, look, man, let me call him and let me find out. Maybe I can put some pressure on him to speed it up. I said, but you and I both know this is going to take some time. This is, you're getting a good deal on trying to get this all done.
Did you ever go down there and check on the
I did.
work progress
I would have
yourself?
to go down there
and what
sometimes.
did you see?
And every time, the truck was just still sitting there.
There wasn't any work being done?
Actually, I didn't go to the truck for about a month. I just let them, you know, every time I would just call them. Hey, how's it going? It's good, man. Your truck is here. You know, I'm gonna try to get some guys on it this week. And it was just always, they were trying to just basically prolong everything.
Where's the truck now?
At a manufacturer storage that I left it there because I couldn't. The health department said.
Oh, so you have the truck?
I have the truck.
Okay, how did you end up getting the truck if he never put the appliances in?
Long story
Hold on a second.
short.
Let me hear from him.
Go ahead.
Let me hear from him.
What happened was, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, he's gonna con me out of my money and the truck. So let me go ahead and get the truck in my possession, and then I can go ahead and try to sue him or try to get my money back, so I can have something in my possession, and so I can actually show the investors this is what's going on.
Hold on a second.
This is what's going on.
What
And
investors? If you
Stop
say the part of money.
interrupting.
The investor had nothing to do with you. It had me and you. Me and him had a deal, and he didn't complete it. On completion.
How did you end up getting the truck? You went to the location?
I went to his location and I said, let me get the truck in my possession and let me see if I can put the stuff in there. I went to 3 different places that fix food trucks, and they all said in between $60,000 and $80,000 to fix this truck. And they all said the same thing, that this truck is hazardous on 4 wheels. The whole bottom was rusted. He said if you walked on it or even put an appliance on there, it's gonna fall through. So he sold me a hazardous on 4 wheels.
What do you have to say about that?
Listen, he's making up some stuff. All right, I don't know where he got all this stuff or
I have a
how
video.
much you've been dreaming
I have a video.
about.
Let's see the video. Let's see the video.
The vehicle that was sold to me, as you can see, rust. So we're gonna actually step up here. You can see there's no appliances, none at all. He told me all this was gonna be all finished, but as you can see, right now, we're in danger zone right now because all of this is rusted. I see burnt marks. He explained to me that all that would be all cleared out. Didn't tell me that the floor was gonna fall through. You know, he told me he was gonna help me out, but he didn't. He sold me a dream.
He called me and kept bugging me and said, "Hey, look, I need to get it. I have investors.
Bugging?
I have investors. I need to get this food truck." So I said, "Look, we have 2 options. I can give you your money back, and I'll be done with this."
Did that happen via text message?
He has text messages of it.
Let's look at the text messages. I'm done with this project. I'll give you your money back. You reply, what? That's not okay with me. I have more money invested out there for this project. We have to talk face to face. I don't want the money. I want my truck. You wanted the truck completed, but you took it as is, essentially. Did you have something you want to say?
Yes, please.
Please.
Your Honor, I was there for the first meeting inside the food truck.
And who are you?
Susie Demersian.
And he lied every step of the way.
What's your relationship to the plaintiff?
I'm his girlfriend.
Okay.
And I invested some of my money in there too, and time and energy. And I just wanted to let you know I was there for the first meeting at the food truck, and I know there was some words back and forth, but it was quoted a week. He would constantly touch base, check on it, and he would say, yeah, you know, they were putting in a fryer.
All of that is irrelevant.
Hold on a second, sir.
And it was all a scam from the beginning.
Although you offered to refund his money, I mean, it just looks like there's some really shady business going on with you keep prolonging this and leading him on about the truck and the progress of the truck. This is a tough case for me. Because when you accepted the truck, you really did accept it as is, and he turned over the registration and the title to you. It's in your name now, right?
No,
and you have it?
No, actually, the registration is not even in his name. He gave me a vehicle that wasn't even registered in his name.
Did you have the title?
No, I didn't have the title. I bought it and never fixed it.
So you don't have the title?
The only thing I did was release liability to him.
Oh, so you can't sell a truck with no title?
There you go. What do you mean?
You can't. You have to have a valid title. You have to have the authority to sell a truck. He can't register a truck without a title. That's a game changer, actually.
I signed all the paperwork over for him to purchase it.
All the paperwork didn't include a title. Am I right?
The bill of sale. That's what
That's not a title, sir. That's not the title. Let's take a brief recess. Court's in recess.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
All right, gentlemen, I had the opportunity to review all of the paperwork in this case back in my chambers during the recess, and look at what we have here, the title to the truck. And you actually did have the title, plaintiff, in your possession. When you make a decision to go into business and invest your money and invest money of other people, other investors, you really have to have some knowledge about the industry and what you're getting yourself into. I think it's a little bit of buyer's remorse, but you did buy the truck as is. You have the title. He offered you your money back. You turned it down. You bought the truck, sir. And that's just the bottom line in this case. My verdict is for the defendant. Have a good day, folks.
This landlord wants his back rent.
I rented an apartment to Crystal Freeman, who started off as a great person, and she moved out and left me with a sizable bill.
But this tenant says there was more to the relationship than just landlord.
He's all over my Facebook page, worried about what guys I'm talking to, asked me to lift up my shirt. I told him it's gonna be business or it's gonna be pleasure.
This lease is completely blank. Nothing's filled in.
And later, who is responsible for the bite that took the little dog's eye?
She is the only person that could have prevented this.
The eye had popped out of the socket, and not only that, he had blood all over his paw. This fella tells me it's common that dogs' eyes pop out all the time.
So he lost his eye?
Plaintiff Victor Franklin is suing his former tenant for unpaid rent, utilities, and late fees. Defendant Crystal Freeman says they came to another agreement regarding the rent.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Franklin versus Freeman.
Thank you, Barbara. Victor Franklin?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Crystal Freeman, for $2,150. You say she owes you for unpaid rent, late fees, and a utility bill?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Tell me what happened, sir.
Judge Faith, we're here today because I rented an apartment to Crystal Freeman, who started off as a great person, and she moved out and left me with a sizable bill, which we're stuck with, what I'm stuck with today.
Okay, what kind of apartment complex is it? Do you own a building?
Yes, I own an apartment complex.
And where is this located?
It's in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
It's a 12-unit apartment building, all one bedrooms.
Okay, and how did you meet the defendant and come to lease a place to her?
Back in April of 2013, I had an apartment for rent, and I put out an ad. She called, she came over, we did a pre-qualification over the phone. Everything checked out okay, seemed to be a great fit, hardworking, single person. So we arranged to start a lease. She moved in, and everything started off well.
Okay, do you have a copy of the lease?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please? And how much did she agree to pay in rent every month?
$395.
So month and year that she moved in, please?
April 2013.
Wait a minute. Okay, this lease is completely blank. Nothing's filled in.
Yes, so I was looking for the actual signed version of the lease. I wasn't unable to find it, so this is the standard Missouri State lease that I use for
Okay,
all the rent.
no. Do you have the lease, the contractual agreement you entered into with the defendant?
I do not have a signed lease.
Do you have one?
No, I didn't sign anything.
Okay, so you're saying you never signed a lease?
No, I just moved in with my money was ready, and I just moved in the same day.
How long have you been a landlord, sir?
I've been a landlord for about 6 years.
It's interesting because she's saying she never signed a lease, and is it just a coincidence that you don't have one?
Yeah, it is a coincidence that I don't particularly have a lease in this situation. That is my standard lease that I have for all of my
Right, well, I don't need this. I'm gonna
Okay.
give this back to you.
Okay.
I know what lease agreements look like, so I don't need to know what your standard is. If you're suing for rent, you don't have anything in writing, so in my mind, I don't have a lease in front of me. It may not even exist.
Yeah, so I have receipts for the initial move-in that states that it's for first month and deposit.
So she moves in, and what happens?
So she moved in, and the first several months, things were going well. Kind of when I go through my initial screening, typically when a female moves in, single female moves in, kind of some of my key questions, okay, what's your relationship situation? Because typically there's gonna be a guy that follows.
Really?
Yeah, and the reason being, there's typically a guy that follows soon after.
Why is that your business?
Yes.
exactly.
I mean, I'm just, why is that your business?
Again, so I've typically done this for about 6 or 7 years, and typically that is where the issues typically come from.
Do you ask your male tenants if they have girlfriends or if they're dating someone?
I absolutely do. Because it's simply where I'm renting to one person, and then in a couple weeks, there's several people who are living there.
So you said that initially she paid rent, everything was fine.
Yeah.
What happened? Just give me the rest of the story.
So probably after about 4 months of being very consistent, she was late on 1 month. She didn't pay. Then it went for a second month, and she didn't pay. And then I get a call from a gentleman, and he says, hey, I'm going to pay the rent for Crystal this month.
Okay.
And I'm kind of taken aback. Okay, who are you? I don't know who you are. And he said, well, I'm going to take
Why
care
do you care? He's paying the rent. He's paying, like,
Right. Well,
I don't care it could be her dad, her uncle, whoever. Why does it matter as long as you're getting the money?
Right, but it didn't come through her. So either way, it worked out. He paid the rent. She got back up. We were on good terms again. And probably another 2 months or so, it kind of dropped off again. And I think it came out, hey, well, I'm not working anymore.
What month and year is this?
This is now October of 2013.
So does she eventually pay what she owes?
No, we never got back on track after this point.
What month and year does she move out?
She moved out in March of 2014.
Okay, and you're saying that she didn't pay rent from what month to what month?
November, December, January, February, and March.
Okay.
Coming up, Judge Faith knows there's more to this story.
Why would you be taking your tenant to dinner and drinks, someone that you rent to? Someone you say who is behind on their rent. Why are you taking them out to dinner and drinks?
Well, at the time, she wasn't behind, Judge.
Yes, I was.
And later,
I tried my hardest. I hated to see him lose his eye.
How's he doing today?
At present, he's not himself. He's not his normal self that he had been prior to this incident.
plaintiff Victor Franklin is suing his former tenant for unpaid rent, utilities, and late fees. Defendant Crystal Freeman says she doesn't owe the amount in question.
So you agree you were supposed to pay rent, and how much were you paying?
I know the rent was $395.
Okay.
But I paid him all last year. I didn't pay him, at the beginning of this year.
January?
And February.
February and March. Okay, why?
First of all, he was like a creep. He was all over my Facebook page, worried about what guys I'm talking to, asked me to lift up my shirt. And
so wait, did the two of you have a relationship beyond landlord-tenant?
We didn't have like a relationship, but we went on a date. And I told him it's gonna be business or it's gonna be pleasure.
And what does that mean?
It's gonna be business or it's gonna be.
Well,
I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna pay or I'm not. That's not.
No, that's what I want to know. So you're saying that you told him you're gonna pay or not because you guys are.
We didn't have sex and
You did?
Yeah.
The two of you had sex.
No, Judge.
Yeah. Excuse me,
No.
ma'am. I'm not gonna lie.
So she's saying that the two of you went out to dinner. Is that true?
We met at the same place for drinks.
Don't look down. Look
No,
at me.
No. Okay, so Judge, we met at a restaurant. We had dinner and drinks.
Why would you be taking your tenant to dinner and drinks, someone that you rent to?
Right.
Someone you say who is behind on their rent. Why are you taking them out to dinner and drinks?
Well, at the time, she wasn't behind, Judge.
Yes, I was.
She wasn't behind at the time, Judge.
Are you saying that you spent the night together that night?
No, we didn't spend a night together. It was a wham, bam, thank you, I'll see you the next day.
Okay, Judge, so that part is not true.
I'm not gonna lie, Judge, sorry.
When you ask someone, do you have a boyfriend? Okay.
More to the story,
Are you in a relationship?
Okay.
And the next thing I know, you're taking her out to dinner and for drinks, and she's saying, I never signed a lease. I have a tendency to believe her because you don't have a copy. She's saying she didn't have to pay rent because you were looking the other way.
Well, I've got a ledger of the 5 months of consistent...
Don't care, sir. Don't care. I actually believe her. I believe that she said that the two of you had an intimate relationship. I believe that as well. I don't know if you're using your position as a landlord to try to get a date. I don't know what you're doing. But if you're going to wear the landlord-tenant hat and you think you're going to come into court and sue someone for not paying rent, then you need to take your job seriously and not mix business with pleasure. Because as of now, I don't believe you. So your case is dismissed. Judgment for the defendant.
Plaintiff Gina Tinadine claims one of the defendant's dogs attacked hers and is suing for vet bills. Defendant Gail Kenslaw says his dogs were on leashes and the plaintiff is responsible.
Gina Tinadine?
That is me.
You are suing the defendant Gail Kenslaw for $5,000 for vet bills that resulted from a dog fight. You say your dog was injured?
Yes, my dog had been injured on February the 9th. That afternoon, I personally brought to the park my own dog.
To the dog park?
To the dog park.
All right.
So I personally parked the car. I brought my dog out of the car, and as I had just parked, I
What's
saw...
your dog's name?
His name is Jesse.
Jesse, okay.
Yeah, so I saw this fella, Mr. Kenslaw.
The defendant, but did you know him before that day?
I never had met him prior.
Okay, and what happened?
I happened to see him walking his 3 dogs, and I thought my dog could personally just briefly interact with his dogs.
Was your dog on a leash?
He had not been. That was my only at fault. But, you know, in the dog park, they don't have to be leashed. But the deal was my own dog, you know, he's a friendly little man. He likes to associate with other dogs and stuff. And I personally thought this would be a great time for him to personally...
Were his dogs on a leash?
He had dogs on a leash, but let me say, I felt he was not responsible owner. He did not contain his dog. He did not restrain the dog that attacked my dog, who injured the dog's eye.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me see a picture of your dog, Jesse, right? Okay, is this your
that's
dog?
a normal picture of him. Yes, he's a beautiful dog.
He's adorable.
Yes, he is.
He is adorable.
He's a lovely little man.
And what's the history with this dog? You wrote in your complaint that he actually models or he's won awards?
He had gotten in a deal. He was in a professional photo shoot. This woman took photos of my dog and stuff. So yes, he is in the June picture of this calendar. But after this eye loss, he no longer can endure.
So he lost his eye?
Next on Judge Faith.
He's like this, and to me, it was like a care without a care in the world. To me, he did not even show that, you know, he didn't show restraint. He did not even show discipline for what my dog had encountered.
Plaintiff Gina Tinadine claims that one of the defendant's dogs attacked hers and is suing for vet bills. Defendant Gail Kenslaw says his dogs were on leashes.
Sir, did you witness what happened?
I was there.
Okay.
But I saw it afterwards. I'd been in the dog park. I'd come out of the dog park with them on the leash.
So your dogs were on the leash the entire time?
Of course.
Okay.
Because once you leave, you're like in public. You have to have your dogs on a leash.
And you submitted a Google map, right, for us to
Yes.
see this location? Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, so tell me what we're looking at here. You want to walk over to the map?
Is there a pointer?
You can just point to it
Okay.
and...
Okay. The dog park is this part here, here, and here. I had left the dog park and I was over here and I went to the trash can.
And you left your dogs on the leash tied to what, your car?
No, I had my dogs with me on the 6-foot leashes. Her dog was about 4 feet from my dog. There had been something happen, an altercation, and her dog was yipping
Okay, you can
and
step back.
feeling bad. And Miss Tinadine said that my dog had knocked out her dog's eye. Now, I couldn't see that initially, but I go up and what do you know? It was true.
His dogs are on a leash, so how does your dog goes over to his dogs?
Yes, he was walking. He's like this, and to me, it was like a care without a care in the world. To me, he did not even show that, you know, he didn't show restraint. He did not even show discipline for what my dog had encountered. I mean,
what exactly did you see happen to Jesse, and what were the extent of his injuries?
Well, the eye had popped out of the socket, and not only that, he had blood all over his paw. This fella tells me it's common that dogs' eyes pop out all the time. He personally said that, and he said the vet would be able to put it back in. He brought that to my attention. He also brought to my attention that this dog was blind. First, he said it was protecting the mixed Shih Tzu, which later, after the incident, the mixed Shih Tzu even came up and sympathized with my own dog.
What kind of dogs are your 3 dogs?
Okay,
let's see a photo.
A Chihuahua, a Shih Tzu, and the sheep herding dog. That's what I'm told.
Oh, these are such cute dogs.
Now,
So
if
do
the
you know
cattle dog
which
is
dog?
The dog that she said reached out and raped her dog.
He told me his dog has come
So
out.
no
other
one
dogs
really
with the teeth.
saw which dog did what in this incident, correct?
No, from what I thought, I saw the paw. He assured me it was the teeth, and like I say, he told me that his dog had come
but
out
I
other
guess that
dogs.
really doesn't matter. The issue is your dog was injured, and you said that he lost his eye. Do we have
Well,
photos of
wait, not at first. I brought him to the 24-hour clinic. It happened in the afternoon, and the surgeon. That was once it was.
Oh my
stitched.
goodness.
No, that picture is after the eye had been enucleated.
How's he doing today?
At present, you know, he's not himself. He's not his normal self that he had been prior to this incident.
Okay,
That,
all right. And so his eye is better now, and I understand you brought him to court today for me to see him. Barbara, would you go get him? I mean, I'm really sorry that this happened to your dog.
And so am I.
Certainly.
Yeah, and
It
I mean,
certainly
I've
seems
had
like
to
a
pay for
tragic
surgeries that I didn't
situation.
anticipate I'm paying for. I live in a studio apartment with him, and I had to devote my time to this little fella. I mean, he looks 100% better than he had prior, but I mean, this guy has been through the ringer. He really and truly has. After the first
You wanna
stent,
bring him up to me?
Yes, I will bring him up to you. So,
let me just take a look at him. You can just bring him right here.
I will let you know, after the first surgery, he had the stent in his eye. And not only that, the eye was very inflamed, and he had a bulge, and they had to put stitches to try to you know, restrain the eye and stuff. And anyways, yes, my dog too, you know, after the enucleation too, his eyelid bled for a while, and also too, my dog had, you know, he had been through so much trauma.
Let me see the medical bills.
Yes, you may see everything. I have everything right here.
Barbara's not here, so it's totally fine. You can walk back to the
Also,
left.
too, my dog had to be on a special diet. And also, too, my dog, I tried my hardest. I hated to see him lose his eye. I went to an eye specialist, too, to see if there was
Barbara, would
any
you hand that back to
resort. I really wanted my eye to,
All right,
my dog's
hold on
eye
a second,
to be
ma'am. Hold on a
saved.
second. So, what's your defense, sir?
She is the only person that could have prevented this. From the moment she got out of the car without having the dog on a leash, as required by law, she had no control of the dog. The dog did what the dog did, came over to my dogs, and apparently got involved in some sort of a dog altercation.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
This is a part of my job that's really tough sometimes, because this is one of those cases where there's just no real winner. I have a person in front of me who took his dogs to the dog park, had them on a leash.
But he didn't control them on the leash.
Ma'am, and he didn't do anything wrong.
His dog did. He told me his dog had struck.
But dogs, and here's the issue, dogs are dogs.
Yeah,
they're
but
animals.
If his dog has come
and
out
they
others
do,
with teeth,
ma'am,
he should not bring it to a park. It's a friendly atmosphere.
Listen to me. Dogs will do what dogs do. It's about what the owner did. And if the owner was negligent, and I don't have that here. I have someone who acted responsibly with their dogs. He had his dogs on a leash. Your dog was not on a leash, and you allowed your dog to go over to his dogs because you thought it would be a friendly encounter.
Right, but we're at a dog park, miss.
Ma'am, and under the park laws, and under even California law, your dog was supposed to be on a leash at that location.
I always carried him. I've never really put him on a leash. I always carry him in.
He had his dogs on a leash. You didn't, ma'am. My judgment in this case is for the defendant. Good luck.
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's what I'm